Everybody, we have a story today, and we're going to start here at today, in the midst of a virus-caused apocalypse. The GMO time bomb, we used to think that this was just a possibility. Now we're finding out it's a probability. The events that you're about to see are becoming more and more probable, more and more likely. In fact, it's just a matter of time. And time might be running out on the human race. Watch our story.
The world of medicine has seen its share of miracle cures, from the polio vaccine to heart transplants, but all past achievements may pale in comparison to the work of Dr. Alice Crippen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Not at all.
After the new millennia, the courts allowed genetically modified organisms, GMO, to be patentable, and thus started off a pursuit for money, profit over people.
We have created seeds that are able to withstand stress from viruses, bacteria, adverse weather, soil conditions.
Clonestra has sued more than 800 family farms over patent infringement.
How do you patent life? I mean, honestly.
We've allowed these people to patent life. Any politician or scientist who tells you that GMO products are safe, they're either lying or they're very, very stupid. They haven't seen the complete capacity. And one scientist who found out that these had extreme hazards, he was immediately dismissed and team dismantled.
This university used to get most of its scientific funding from the USDA. Now it gets it from corporations, so we adjust.
This is science that's saving the world.
If you take a look at the entire GMO application process, in fine detail, you will find very little scientific evidence, very little independent evidence, and a whole lot of bribes and payouts and wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's what makes these GMO foods so dangerous. They're not completely scrutinized. And this industry is allowed to police themselves. They actually police.
Now, almost 90% of corn and more than 90% of soybeans that are planted in the United States are genetically engineered.
So it's just in everything.
Yes, GMO foods are in over 85% of the foods, and nobody really is understanding safety testing. Nobody's looking at the potential dangers.
How can there not be any other independent studies that matter?
We're the guinea pigs, Sophie, and your son is the independent study.
These items are pushed into the marketplace because of profit over people, without really true testing, without real independent measures, without really getting evaluated. And if we take a look at it, we're going to find that a patent is not of nature. The only way you can get a patent is to go to the patent office and prove it is not of nature. All these synthetic patent compounds have side effects, liabilities, dangers, and their health risks. And until we can understand that we have to be much more careful with this, things need to change.
So, Dr. Crippen, give it to me in a nutshell.
Well, the premise is quite simple. Take something designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it.
My name is Desiree Dubonnet.
My name is Rita Nameni.
And the process of nature is so vastly complex that science should not think that they can replace it.
No, we all have to know that science and nature have to and can work together efficiently.
About a virus.
Indeed, yes, in this case, the measles virus, which has been engineered at a genetic level to be helpful rather than harmful.
In 1993, corn was 100% farmer-owned. It was all completely natural. Now it's become GMO, and you have to wear a hazmat suit in order to be able to touch it.
People don't see how strange this is?
Yes, they're hurting nature.
I find the best way to describe it is if you can imagine your body as a highway and you picture the virus as a very fast car being driven by a very bad man, imagine the damage that car could cause.
But what you think is a bad man at one point might be a good man at another. Nature works in harmony.
And nature is everything. Nature is the basis of everything. It's the origin.
And there's light and dark, up and down, good and bad. What you think is bad might one day turn out to be good.
Replace that man with a cop, the picture changes, and that's essentially what we've done.
How many people have you treated so far?
Well, we've had 10,009 clinical trials in humans so far.
And how many are cancer-free?
10,009.
If we really check deeper into it, nature has the answer to everything. The human mind cannot even understand all this.
You have actually cured cancer.
Yes. Yes, we have.
One door opens, another closes. Basically, you think that they cured cancer. See, science is built on this idea of observation and basically trying to understand nature. But when people try to put profit over people, it creates a problem. Because her cure for cancer created a problem. You see, within 3 years, it killed most of the human race. Created big, large, vast problems.
That happens if you put profit over people. It creates damage, destroys, and creates hell.
Yes, this hell on earth could be created by the genetically modified organisms.
Yeah, because part by part, small pieces going into the human body lead to giant stress and diseases and sickness.
There's no way to totally predict the fractal nature. And basically, when we are doing things with profit over people, patents that are not of nature, we could produce a compound.
Nothing about patent can be natural. Anything what people are trying to patent, that is already synthetic. That doesn't come from nature. It's already modified.
This glimpse of an idea of an apocalypse is what we used to think was only possible. It was a story of fiction. Now we're understanding that it actually is more probable because there are thousands of scientists in laboratories working on genetically modified organisms.
And this nightmare and this cartoon is now sooner or later turning into reality, step by step, day by day.
And this could be our new reality.
I know. And if nobody stands up against this, and if nobody tries to avoid this tragedy, this will be our reality soon.
We have to be able to understand what we're doing with these genetically modified foods is horrendous. It's disgusting.
We have to avoid people eating this modified food, and we have to avoid children actually getting to it at all.
This is the movie The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. And it's been worked with many different types of themes as the Omega Man and I Am Legend. And the idea that scientists working on ideas of patents could possibly stumble on something accidentally that could have horrendous effects.
Absolutely agree with you. Can you believe what would happen if we would use all this science to build up something natural, to enhance the planet, and science would work together with nature?
If we started to recognize that we didn't need to patent things in order to be able to protect the intellectual property, that would be the first start. And recognizing all of this as a possibility. And what we're going to be seeing now in this movie is how our friend, Mr. Vincent Price here, from the novel I Am Legend, Dr. Neville, is going to have a problem. And interesting enough, you see the garlic on the wall there.
Yeah.
Very interesting that this virus that they've accidentally produced creates an allergy and a sensitivity to garlic.
Wow, it's interesting. Tell me about this more.
Well, what we found is that the blood fever virus, when working with the movie Dracula, we found that there really was a blood fever virus. You can learn more about this in the Dracula movie. And the blood fever virus made people crave blood. They started to hurt other people to get blood, and they started to lose their mind. Just like another virus is called hydrophobia, rabies, where you get afraid of water. Well, with the blood fever virus, it affects your mind. You become afraid of religious items.
Isn't that something like what you were explaining to me about the sugar craving? There is a virus.
That's part of that. There's a virus there, but there's a virus that's a bacteria that creates the craving for sugar.
Yeah.
And there's also a virus that makes a craving for destruction and blood. Well, just what if they stumbled on a virus that created such a problem? Could it not be that our friend Mr. Vincent Price here would be subjected? And now in our story, Mr. Neville here, Dr. Neville, has developed an immunity.
Wow, interesting.
Whereas the rest of the world does not.
I know. If I just take a little view towards our world, it doesn't really look good currently. And people like you, other people who are up to nature and would like to stand up to protect and enhance nature, we have to do something about this, that it doesn't get worse and more far.
So it's very interesting. And garlic as a proposal, because we found that the blood fever was actually treated with garlic. We could actually treat our patients with garlic. It would help to cure the blood fever.
People have absolutely no idea how many natural cures we can discover by using garlic, other spices, other vegetables, and anything what comes from nature. There is a cure for everything from nature.
We know that the body is made of atoms,
Yes.
and that on the outer part of all these atoms is electrons. The outer part of all these atoms is electrons. The electrons repel. So no atom touches another. What we think of material touching is not really true. So now with this in mind, just how many atoms are there in the human body, and how many electrons, if we take the number of stars in the visible sky and times it by all the numbers of grains of sand, there are still more electrons in the human body. And if we understand now that the electron is not a base particle, there's other particles within it.
You know how many people don't have a clue about this?
Well, it's 10 to the 28th electrons, and it's so vastly more complex than we can possibly imagine one human body. So to think that the human mind can patent a synthetic, S-I-N, synthetic,
Listen to the
and
word
make it
sin.
compatible.
It already talks about sin, about a crime, about an insult to the body, insult to the human mind.
Very interesting that the garlic, we've always associated garlic with cleanliness,
And with some sting.
with things. So basically here we have a situation where this man, this lonely man, is now struggling with the death of humanity.
And so are we going to, if we don't stop this synthetic craziness and this craving towards synthetics, towards bacteria, towards all kinds of synthetic chemicals.
When the courts allowed people to make genetically modified organisms and then patent them, this allowed Monsanto and other companies to take control of the world and basically start producing the greatest amount of profit over people without due consideration of what would happen. And then the governments let them police themselves. They let these scientists police themselves without external people to look at them and to evaluate safety and efficacy. So the GMOs have really been a problem. And what we need to know is that genetically modified organisms, it's just a matter of time. And the time is running out on human race. And it's just a matter of time before we have a real Dr. Neville.
And it's just a matter of time that all these genetically modified foods, these kind of products, are going to overtake the marketplace, and there will be nothing else.
They already have.
What we are going to be able to get. There will be no other choice if we don't stop them.
In America today, 95% of the foods eaten come from patented, genetically modified organisms.
That's absolutely tragic. That's insane.
Without the idea of true safety.
Absolutely terrible. And think about how those little children who are growing up on these foods, what kind of diseases and what kind of problems they are going to develop when they are going to get to their adulthood.
So our friend...
We don't even know how many types of diseases and the mental problems that can contain.
Well, we do know that the bowel bacteria is very complicated, and as you said, there is bowel bacteria that makes you crave sugar.
Yeah.
So the more sugar you eat, the more bowel bacteria you
and the
grow,
more fatter and uglier
and
you
the
get.
fatter and the more diseased. Yeah, I wouldn't use the word ugly. That'd be up to you. But here we have a very nice little story, and we need to recognize the effects of genetically modified organisms.
You remember the horroristic story you
Can
told
you
me
imagine?
about? You told me about that there are evil aliens who want to make people fat and then take them.
Can you imagine taking your own daughter to the dump to throw her body away?
No, never.
This is what Dr. Neville was doing now.
It's absolutely horroristic.
And we allow the possibility of this by allowing the genetically modified organisms.
This should not even get into any human mind, this kind of action and happening.
Well, this fiction story, I think, helps to touch our hearts.
And shock us.
And help to shock us and help us to wake up. And that's
Wake
why
up.
this movie was so good. This movie done way back when, and then they did it again as Omega Man. We'll see a little bit of it. And I Am Legend.
This movie should give people intuition to take action and take more control about their lives and about what they feed their children and how they let their children grow up. Look at these horrific pictures.
A genetically modified food could produce some type of genetically modified,
Craving.
genetically modified virus
I know.
that could,
Make an addiction.
and as we are going to see in our story, this can definitely not only can happen, it almost becomes an inevitability. We need to do something now in our society.
These horroristic images might be right now under process. They might appear.
This is
soon.
part of an art form. This is a movie.
I know.
But could it be that this could become a reality?
I sadly have to inform you that might be possible. And we have to do something against this. Look at this. Wake the fuck up, people. We have to do something and take action, take control, take care of our planet,
Can you imagine?
take care of our body.
Can you imagine the horror of throwing these people away?
No, don't even tell me about this. I'm such an emotional person. I can hardly deal with these images right
Well,
now.
this movie, Rita and I wanted to show you this to spark your mind into the discussion. Now, there's a lot of movie to happen here, and I want you to really understand.
This cannot become our reality. This cannot become our reality, people. Wake up.
Our governments have to stop the patents of GMO organisms. There are hundreds of scientists working today on trying to find organisms to make money. And these are out of nature. They are synthetic, not of nature. And it's just a matter of time before one of them hurts people.
SEIN, poison.
Synthetic.
It's a pure poison, and we don't even know what it contains, what kind of unknown materials people add to it. It can be plant killers, it can be acids, it can be all kinds of synthetic stuff what we don't even know.
It's been proven that synthetic farm chemicals cause autism. We know that we have made a sewer of our world with these patented chemicals.
They cause all kinds of nerve problems, mental problems,
Diseases and
autoimmune diseases. And these diseases, the person can give forward to the child, and this is a genetic sickness, what will never stop appearing and appearing.
And if a genetic organism, a virus, were to get into the human race that shut down procreation,
and this will sooner or later shut down humanity.
It could weaken the immune system, which is what we're seeing now. We're seeing a story of weakened immune systems from this virus. But a virus might...
The weakened planet, what goes down.
But a virus might be developed that just stops procreation. And stops children from being born. We have to be very, very careful. We have to learn about what's happening here with the human race. And we can't not allow genetically modified organisms.
And we cannot avoid the existence of these images.
We have to recognize, so share this movie and start to get people to really open up their minds
and think about it.
Take something designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it.
You're talking about a virus?
Indeed, yes, in this case, the measles.
We gave her what we call ALZ-112, a gene therapy that allows the brain to create its own cells in order to repair itself. Here at Genesis, we call it a cure to Alzheimer's.
Movies show us lots of experiments gone wrong, but we have to recognize that in real life, these scientific experiments go wrong, maybe even more than in the movies. We have to recognize the incredible horrors that science has actually imposed. We like to look at the good news, but there are horrors that have been exposed by science. Different things that have happened. And one of the most incredible potentials is that of the GMOs, the genetically modified foods. For what effect will it have on our culture and our society? We don't know enough to play God and to try to play with life itself. We just don't know enough.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Nature knows, and nature knows what to do, and we can't be missing it. Time is running out for us. If, as a human race, we think that we can basically use technology to solve the problems that technology has made, we have to have a better grip on being cautious and not let people put profit over people. We have to be able to get back to an idea of understanding and respect for nature, not respect for profit, and basically move very cautiously as we move, especially when we talk about things that can be consumed by the human body, that can do horrific damages and incredible potentials. And we have to recognize that every drug once credentialed by the FDA, at one time approved by the FDA, that many of these drugs, in fact a vast quantity of these drugs, have been removed from the market. And basically you people are the scientific experiment. You are the guinea pig, and you need to stop it before dangerous happens. The GMO time bomb? Well, let's look at some new research of what's going on and how they're creating a problem.
Given that you started with just 2 red-eyed mosquitoes and 30 white-eyed ones, you'd expect mostly white-eyed descendants. Instead, when James opened the box, all 3,800 mosquitoes had red eyes.
Oh my God, they can demand any genetic action here?
Oh, yeah, this is going to really usher in.
This is like waking up the zombie nation.
Yeah, and this is becoming not just possible.
It becomes reality.
It's becoming probable. Not just a matter of...
I'll keep this quick, but Mendelian genetics says that when a male and female mate, their baby inherits half of its DNA from each parent. So if our original mosquito was AA and our new mosquito was AB, where B is the anti-malaria gene, the babies should come out in 4 permutations: AA, AB, AA, BA. Instead, with a new gene drive, they all came out AB.
This gene drive mandates genetic action.
Oh my god, they are tearing each other up, flesh to flesh, blood on blood. It's terrible.
Your gene out, put one in, or even edit just a single letter within a gene. And you can do it in nearly any species.
Any species, including human. And what we're looking at is possible. Talk about germ warfare. What could be more warfare?
Oh my God.
Disgusting.
And not just possible, probable.
How do you get your trait to spread? This is where it gets clever. A couple years ago, a biologist at Harvard named Kevin Esvelt wondered what would happen if you made it so that CRISPR inserted not only your new gene, but also the machinery that does the cutting and pasting. In other words, what if CRISPR also copied and pasted itself? You'd end up with a perpetual motion machine for gene editing.
The perpetual motion machine, it could produce perpetual disease. And we have to recognize when we create these different germ warfares, you don't contain them. They come back to bite you in the ass.
And these things are not human anymore. Look at them.
And when you let go of an item, it comes back.
What's remarkable and powerful and frightening about gene drives is that that will no longer be true. Assuming that your trait does not have a big evolutionary handicap, like a mosquito that can't fly, the CRISPR-based gene drive will spread the change relentlessly until it is in every single individual in the population.
Karma is a big bitch. Everybody gets what's there to get. There is no choices.
In human, when we're talking about this type of a virus, it would be communicated through blood. So the idea of the zombie thing, the GMO time bomb, the zombie apocalypse, it's a possibility. It's a probability.
Yeah, it's not PlayStation game anymore. It will be a live game, what we can watch and experience soon.
What we're seeing here is horrific.
It's absolutely tragic. And look, profit is that important that we'll design people to zombies, which are not human anymore, to killing machines, to blood-eating machines, ripping flesh and meat apart. That's what we need just to have more profit. Wake the fuck up here. Is this reality? We are heading towards this shit.
And the idea of terrorism, because somebody in their backyard could be working on these gene drive systems.
And that's a boomerang. This will hit back harder than we assume.
That's the idea of karma, but it could create a problem. We have to now, as a group of people, stop this type of process. And basically, the best way to do that is to stop the ideas of the patents over life.
Is money really so important? I believe this guy, if he could, he would actually change his mind about this founding and make everything back.
Well, this movie was made for us to change our minds. This movie was made to
wake up,
to scare us, to recognize. And when this movie was made, this was just a base little tiny possibility.
We all have to realize that money cannot be that important to make people to monsters, really.
And now this has become not just a possibility, but a probability. I got to say this over and over again, because we have to wake up and recognize what synthetics, S-I-N, synthetics can do.
And everybody who participates in this sin will be led to hell. And this is what we or those people can expect to happen.
Yes, so we have to, as a nation and as a planet, be able to recognize to stop this.
I believe that all people who put profit over people will be punished. And that's the punishment, what we see right there.
And you see, he's using natural garlic. He's not using synthetic garlic.
Oh my God.
He went out and found natural garlic. Because
see,
now he believes in nature.
Oh yeah, it's time.
So synthetics got them into trouble. And
what I see
is nature to get
is a Michael Jackson Thriller video clip is waking up alive here.
Absolutely, that's going to happen. Because what we're seeing is based on an idea of a probability to help wake us up. Now let's look a little bit about some of the other movies.
Sometimes
like
people...
The Omega Man.
Not by the evil, forbidden things, the tools that destroy the world. The world. They destroyed the world.
The entire Los Angeles area. Already hospital facilities have begun to crack under the strain.
Yes, the planet, it now is in jeopardy. People dying. People trying to escape. Escape to where? Because eventually, any genetically modified organism which reproduces does not fade away like a toxin, like a chemical. It doesn't fade away. It reproduces and gets bigger and bigger, and it will find you.
Do you remember the movie Island of Dr. Moreau? That's what I see here around us. Taking a lot.
Major cities in all parts of the country, New York, Los Angeles, report plague victims falling dead in the streets, in their homes, at their work. The first symptom appears to be severe choking, followed by immediate unconsciousness. Death occurs within minutes.
Whether a state of war, but
war and all the problems of politics become irrelevant in the face of this type of an apocalypse. This type of a cataclysm, this type of apocalypse could be prevented if we could just see not to put profit on people.
our fellow countrymen are dying. The very foundations of civilization are beginning to crumble under the dread assault of that horror long feared germ warfare.
Colonel Red Channel, this is a Class 1 emergency. All civilian traffic is barred from streets and highways. Stay in your homes.
The GMO time bomb, yes, this is happening, and we have to take a look at this. And the idea of a zombie apocalypse. If we look at the voters of Donald Trump, you know, wait a minute. I think it's already here. Vote Trump. Vote Trump.
Yeah. Ooh, buy a stupid hat and vote for me. Oh, yeah, right?
Vote Trump. Vote Trump.
These people don't want people who are able to think. They want people who just are manipulated and do what they are told to do. They want robots.
Kill, vote Trump.
And whose people are able to do that? Only those people who are using drugs, synthetics, genetically modified food, because then they cannot be awake. They cannot even progress what is going on about them and around them. Am I right?
Yes, I think that we have a really entertaining little concept here. And I hope that you can really start to wake up and recognize.
And open your mind. That's the key.
Another day. Another day to start all over again.
issue. The sun's already set. They'll be everywhere.
It's Morgan. Get him.
Look at those zombies.
Oh, tragedy.
It is really sad what science is able to create from people just because of profit. It's really sad. I feel really sorry for this guy.
Vincent Price was a very good actor. He touched our hearts in so many ways. Maybe you don't know, but this is the man who did the voice.
This is really what people are capable to accomplish because of profit. We cannot let that happen, because that will kill this plan and destroy the people.
And now he's doing soul searching, thinking. Look, and now he's going to go back. And he's going to think.
What he did wrong.
He's going to think of his family. He's going to think of the good times. And then he's going to think about what he did wrong.
Hey, Verge. Verge.
Yes? Oh, no. My makeup. My hair.
Hey, where is everybody? All I can see
Hi,
is...
Ben.
Oh.
I can hear children, but I can't see any children.
Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben! Hey, look at how
Kathy.
Ben, Uncle Ben! Where'd you bring me?
Open them and see. Open them and
Oh,
see.
come.
Kathy. I got a fun here. I'm gonna find this.
Take a look at this.
It's highly theoretical, Ben.
Theoretical? Do I have to remind you that theory is the beginning of solution?
Is Europe's disease carried on the wind? Is it, Ben?
Could be.
And if it is,
It isn't, Verge.
is that what you really think, or just what you'd like to think?
I cannot accept half-baked theories that sell newspapers. I'm a scientist, not an alarmist.
You're whistling past the graveyard.
Is that a commentary on my work at the lab?
We both know how hard you've worked.
I'm sorry, Ben. I just can't accept the idea of universal disease.
Uncle Ben, you promised y'all cartridge.
All right, Kathy. Who can resist that face? All right. Card tricks. Card tricks.
Robert, is it possible this germ or virus could be airborne?
Anything is possible, Verge. The best brains in the world have been running through this thing with a fine-tooth comb. The germ is visible under a microscope, but it's not like any bacilli ever known.
In what way?
It can't be destroyed by any process we've been able to uncover.
But with the whole world trying, there must be a solution.
Hey, Mommy, when are you gonna cut the cake?
Right now, our problem is to cut that cake.
Hey, Mommy! Hey, Mommy!
Coming!
the wind wake you up?
It always does.
How do you feel?
I'm all right.
Oh, don't get up, honey.
I'm not sick, Bob. I'll make
You don't have to.
I'll be all right. Go on and read your paper.
All right. Oh, sweetheart, look, if you don't feel well, please go back to bed.
I'm just a little tired, that's all. I wish somebody would find a vaccine.
It's all we're working on at the lab, Verge. Maybe you better not send her to school today.
All right. You think you should go to work?
I have to.
Oh, Bob. Bob. I'm so frightened.
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
Well?
The bacilli are multiplying.
That kicks the bone marrow theory in the head.
This specimen shows a higher white count than when I put it on the slide. Those cells are still living, Dr. Mercer, off one another.
There has to be an answer. You heard that all communications are ended outside the continental limits?
Yes, I heard.
That leaves it in our laps. So we keep trying. Where's Cortland?
Well, he should be here by now.
You two stay on this virus theory until I decide it's exhausted.
Right.
Yes, sir?
Morgan will fill you in.
All right, sir. And what did the great man of science have to say today? More of the usual?
Oh, he's trying, Ben, just like the rest of us.
And nothing works. The streets are swarming with truckloads of bodies that they're throwing into that god-awful pit. And the dedicated Dr. Mercer goes on with his plodding, unimaginative approach.
You have a better idea?
Maybe. At least it involves imagination.
Ben, it's as simple as this. An unknown germ is being blown around the world. It's highly contagious and it's reached plague proportions.
And you don't believe some of the dead have come back?
Let's get to work.
And why are they burning the bodies? Why don't they bury them?
Because it's the best known way to control the contagion, to keep the germ from spreading.
That's what we've always believed, at any rate.
You'd prefer us to believe in vampires?
If they exist, yes. There are stories being told, Bob.
By people who are out of their minds with fear.
Maybe. But there are too many to be just coincidental. Stories about people who have died and have come back.
They're stories, Ben, stories.
And why are the infected people always so tired in the daytime? Why can't they stand the sunlight? Why are they only seen at night?
Come here. Look.
I know his
look. Now, is this bacilli or isn't it?
It doesn't alter.
And this bacilli is found in the blood of every infected person, or isn't it?
To show me germs is not to refute these stories, Bob. Point is, if there are vampires, they exist in spite of these germs.
Come on, let's get to work.
Dr. Robert Neville, September 5th, 2012, GA Series Serum, 391, Animal Trials.
Now the question is survival. Is this the end of technological man? Is this the conclusion of all our yesterdays? The boasts of our fabled science? The superhuman conquests of space and time? The age of the wheel?
Coverage of this national disaster. And now, we switch you to the state capitol, where His Excellency, the Governor, is speaking from the Executive Mansion.
Further, I have, in conjunction with the federal government, declared this state to be a disaster area. The public health is dependent on bodies of the deceased being burned. You must notify the health department immediately if you have a plague victim in your home.
We were warned of judgment. Well, here it is. Here. Now. In the form of billions of microscopic bacilli. This is the end.
Yes, the GMO time bomb. Just a matter of time, and it's ticking today.
Under no circumstances should you gather publicly. In view of the dire emergency that exists, I intend to...
Anything new?
Huh? No, nothing new. Nothing.
Mommy, where are you? Mommy, I can't see. Mommy.
I'm going to call the doctor.
I said no. Verge, there's nothing they can do.
But we can't just let her lie there.
Well, this way she has a chance. If you call a doctor, he'll report it. Do you want that?
Mommy, help me. Mommy. Mommy, please help me. Mommy, help me.
How can you be so sure she's...
Blindness is one of the symptoms. You're not to call a doctor under any circumstances. No one is to come into this house. Now remember that.
Mommy. Mommy. Mommy, where are you?
I've got to pick Ben Cortman up on the way to the lab. No one is to come into this house. Now remember that.
Who's there?
It's me, Ben. We're late. Ben, what's the matter with you?
Nothing, and I'm going to keep it that way.
Ben, look, let's talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about. You think I'm out of my mind. You laughed at me and my theory. You might be one of them.
Ben, look, you're ill. You ought to see a doctor.
No doctors. You take care of your life, I'll take care of mine. Now get away from here. You understand? Get away from here!
If you're looking for anybody but me, forget it.
Are they all gone?
That's right.
Is there any hope from the latest reports?
No, not yet. But believe me, Morgan, we'll find an answer.
When, Doctor? We need it right now. I need it.
You're the only one who wasn't afraid to come here today.
What's going to happen, Dr. Mercer? Is everybody in the world going to die before someone finds the answer?
No, I don't think so. I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
All right, let's roll.
When? When?
I called a doctor. I had to.
I told you not to call anyone.
Mom, she was blind. She couldn't see. She kept reaching out her hands, groping for me. And then, all of a sudden, she was gone. When they came in, I tried to stop them. They took her.
I saw a truck out there. Was that it? Was it?
I'm sorry, lady. There's nothing I can do. Let that truck through. Get out of the way. Get back, folks. Nobody's allowed out there. Please, all of you, get behind those lines. Look sharp there. Move. Move along. Make way for that truck. Make way. Hey, you, mister! Come back! Come back!
Did this truck just come in from Market Street? I said, did this truck just come in from Market Street?
Mister, I don't know.
Hey, you don't belong in here. Get out. I said get out. I want my daughter.
Mister, a lot of daughters are in there, including my own.
Verge. Oh. No. I won't let them put you there, Verge. I promise. I won't let them put you there.
One creature. Caught in a place he cannot stir from in the dark. Alone. Outnumbered hundreds to one. Nothing to live for but his memories. Nothing to live with but his gadgets, his cars, his guns, gimmicks.
You know, they've done so many movies on zombies, etc. This whole idea of the zombie apocalypse, it captures people. My son, he can't get over it. He talks about it all the time.
And you know why? Because it can be real. It can be made to reality. That's why all the video games are about it.
Well, there's so many movies and video games. There's so much. The whole idea of this TV show, The Walking Dead, and all this stuff. It all started with this basic concept. But you know what? I believe that it's not just of the fictional mind. No. It's of reality mind. Now, people have said, I told my son, Sterling, oh, it's impossible. We can never have a zombie apocalypse. But now that I've seen the ideas of gene drivers, and I've seen the ideas of the GMOs, I have to think.
You know that
I have to change my mind.
Anything what the human mind believes, the body can achieve it. So that means that it can be brought to reality.
Well, I believe that this is now not just a possibility, but a probability. I think I've oversaid that, and I think I'm going to say it another 100 times.
And you know what? All the people who are watching this right now have to stand up and say, I don't want this to become my reality.
We have to be much more careful to allow really proper police action and real proper science to be done. We cannot let these GMO people police themselves and create organisms that they have no idea what's going to happen to them in the future.
And we really have to be careful what kind of food we put into our mouth, what kind of food we feed our children, what kind of movies we let our children watch, and what we let into our soul and into our mind.
Well, we have to understand that synthetic is synthetic, S-I-N.
It's an insult to the body, to the soul, and to the mind.
And this man that we're watching here, he's tortured
lost.
Soul.
Yeah, he's lost because he saw that profit is more important than life.
We need to be able to help him and be able to help ourselves through an idea that nature knows.
We need to explain.
Only nature knows.
We need to explain to people that profit is not everything and science is not everything. Nature and God is above everything.
Science is a tool, not a master.
And science cannot replace nature, and science cannot replace people, humanity, and the world we live in.
And now,
who is it?
Twist in the plot. Somebody's coming to the door.
Who's there?
Somebody's...
Show him, my children. Show him the pretty marks. These are the marks, Mr. Neville.
Morgan! We're going to kill you, Morgan! Morgan! Are you here? Morgan! Morgan! Do you hear, Morgan? Morgan! Do you hear, Morgan?
If Cortman thinks he can get to me by destroying my car, his wits are getting dull. This convertible would be nice. Probably handles well. But I can't think of comfort. There was a time when I shopped for a car. Now I'm looking for a hearse. This station wagon will have to do. Alive. It's alive. Wait! Don't run away! Come back here! Don't run away! Come back! Come back here! Wherever he is, I've got to find him. If I have to search every street, every house, every alley, every inch of this town, I've got to find him. Come back! Hey, boy, where are you? Where are you, pal? Come here. They're dead. They've been staked. But these are made of iron. That wood, like mine. Someone else is alive in this world. But where are they? Where are they hiding? How many are there? Where did they come from? Why haven't I seen them? This is Robert Morgan. If somebody can hear me, answer me. For God's sake, answer me. This is KOKW calling. KOKW calling. Answer me. So you finally decided to come back. It's all right, boy. Good boy. Don't worry, boy. You're going to be all right. Yes, you are.
Look at this little living being, how pure and how loving that animal is. Animals are those beings who can just touch anybody's heart, no matter how evil or how bad somebody is. Animals are a connection to the whole universe and to everybody.
Animals have a consciousness, and just a different type of consciousness. They're worthy of as much respect as any other human being.
And they are the only beings who love you without any condition. Just they love you because...
Trump. Vote for Trump.
You know they're out there, don't you? You poor, driven thing. Everything's gonna be all right. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Everything's gonna be all right. All right. You're going to get better. We're gonna have lots of happy times together. You'll see, everything's gonna be fine. What's the use? Wait, I'm not gonna hurt you. Can't you understand? Wait. Wait. I'm not going to hurt you. Wait. 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 I couldn't be out here in the daylight if I was one of them. You know that they can't come out until sundown. Do you want to come with me or do you want to face them? You feeling better?
Yes,
Would you like a cup of coffee?
thank you. You seem very well organized here.
Yeah.
My name is Ruth Collins. I was married. I lost my husband. You are alone? You were married.
Yes.
Children?
A daughter.
What are you doing? Please stop, please. Stop it, please. You're making me sick.
Why do you turn
Please.
away?
Please.
Why do you turn away? You are infected.
No.
Infected systems are allergic to garlic.
You think I'm one of them?
You will be.
You've made up your mind just because I...
You can't change the facts by talking.
Facts? What facts? That I got sick? I've had a sensitive stomach all my life. I saw my husband killed, torn to pieces right in front of our house. I've been wandering ever since, hiding at night, not eating more than scraps, sick with mourning, sick with fear, unable to sleep. Then you shout at me. You chased me across a field, hit me, dragged me to this house. And to top it all, when I get sick because you shove a piece of reeking garlic in my face, you tell me I'm infected.
Where are
Let
you
me
going?
go.
You can't go out there. It's almost sunset.
Let me go,
You
I
can't
said.
go out there now. In a few
I
minutes,
don't
the streets
care.
will be full
Let
up.
me go.
At
I don't
least let me give you a
care.
blood test.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You must be hungry. I'll fix you some dinner. You know, you should eat.
I can't. You seem used to them.
Oh, as much as anybody could be. I'm not frightened of them anymore, if that's what you mean. Oh, I protect myself against them, but only because there's so many. Individually, they're weak, mentally incompetent, like animals after a long famine. If they weren't, they surely would have found a way of breaking in here a long time ago.
Come out, Morgan.
Hear that? That's Ben Cortman. He was my friend.
Your friend?
He was like a kid brother. If I could find him and destroy him.
But you said he was your friend.
When I find him, I'll drive a stake through him, just like all the others.
But you lived through all this. Do you know why?
Perhaps I was chosen. That's a laugh. Or perhaps it's because a long time ago when I worked in Panama, I was bitten in my sleep by a bat. My theory is that the bat had previously acquired the vampire germ. By the time it entered my blood, it had been strained and weakened by the bat system. As a result, I have immunity. Well, it's only a guess, but it's all I have to go on.
You don't think that I'm immune, do you?
It's a simple matter to find out whether you are or not.
What will you do if I am infected? Cure me? You don't have to answer. I know as well as you do. It's incurable.
There might be a way. If not of killing the germ, at least of containing it, keeping it from spreading. If I had the equipment, the time.
Which you don't.
You are one of them.
I was. And without that injection, I'll be one again.
What do you mean? You found a solution?
That's right. Exactly as you said it could be. I take that for it.
What is it?
Defibrinated blood plus vaccine. The blood feeds the germ. The vaccine keeps it isolated and prevents it from multiplying. We've had it for some time now.
We?
There are quite a number of us.
And I thought you were alone. I was going to cure you. Does that amuse you?
No.
Now, I want the truth. I want all of it. Why are you here?
To find out if you know any more than we do. You know far less. We're alive. Infected, yes, but alive. We're going to reorganize society. Do away with all those wretched creatures who are neither alive nor dead. Start everything all over again.
And you want me to join?
You can't join us. You're a monster to them. Why do you think I ran when I saw you? Even though I was assigned to spy on you. Because I was so terrified of what I'd heard about you. You're a legend in the city. moving by day instead of night, leaving as evidence of your existence bloodless corpses. Many of the people you destroyed were still alive. Many of them were loved ones of the people in my group.
I didn't know.
Is there any way you can get out of here?
What do you mean?
They're coming after you tonight. That's why I was sent here. To prevent you from resisting them. I'm supposed to keep you here until they come.
To kill me?
Yes.
Your new society sounds charming.
The beginning of any society is never charming or gentle.
And you pretended to be shocked at my violence. Well, what are you waiting for? Why don't you go on and use it? Get it over with. Use it. Get it over with.
Now you know. What are you going to do? What are you doing?
It's already done.
What?
Look. Look. You see? It worked, Ruth. The antibodies in my blood worked. My blood has saved you, Ruth. Do you know what this means? You and I can save all the others. We won't be alone. We'll never be alone again.
You are sure?
Wait. Don't be afraid. Where are you
I've
going?
got to get out of here. Tell them you're not a
You
threat
can't
to us.
go out there.
You
You
can save all
wouldn't
of
get
us.
10 feet.
When they come here, there won't be time for questions and answers. They'll come to kill. For God's sake, Robert, let me go. Oh, Robert, please.
Ruth, look, tomorrow.
Please. Oh, Robert.
Tomorrow, Ruth.
Tomorrow will be all right.
Robert, no. Robert.
Yes, Ruth.
What if this doesn't last?
But it will. I've already checked it under the microscope. Wait, I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. I'll check it again. Ruth, just take a look at this. This'll prove it to you. Ruth, there's no change. I've double-checked.
Robert!
Ruth! Ruth!
Robert!
Ruth! Get away from her! Are you all right? Are you all right?
Run, Robert! Robert, run! Run! They've got to kill you, Robert.
He had this idea. It was kind of a virologist's idea. He believed that you could cure racism and hate, literally cure it, by injecting music and love into people's lives.
It is absolutely right. You can kill racism by the right education from childhood.
And music. We can prevent this type of a whore.
One day he was scheduled to perform at a peace rally. Gunmen came to his house and shot him down. 2 days later, he walked out on that stage and sang.
Music is a great cure and a great connection to joy and happiness and connection to God.
And when you're right, you're right. When you're powerful, you're powerful.
He said, the people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. How can I? Light up the darkness.
We have to show the light to people, and it's foolish to think that technology will solve the problems that technology created.
We need to bring a reverence to nature. Vote Trump!
Vote Trump! No matter what happens tomorrow, vote Trump!
No such thing as global warming.
Run!
Vote Trump!
Just buy a stupid hat and vote for Trump! Ha ha ha!
I'm a scientist. What the hell are you?
Definition of a scientist. A man who understood nothing until there was nothing left to understand.
Well.
Up there!
There he is. Wait! You don't understand, wait!
Get him! Get him!
Wait!
the darkest hours, all of us have the brightest little light inside that tells us where to do, what to choose, and how to find the greatest solution.
Stand back.
You see lying there the last of scientists, of bankers, of businessmen, the users of the wheel. Do we use the tools of the wheel as he does? No. Is he of the family? No.
There he is, in the church.
He is part of the dead. He has no place here. He has the stink of oil and electrical circuitry about him. He is obsolete. You are discarded. You are the refuse of the past.
Now he's come to the church, as we all do, as they say that there's no atheist in foxholes, and that he's come to the church to find God. And yet there's no sanctuary today, because these small minds are after him. The small minds fear him, and the small minds want to attack him.
He came to the church to seek for answers and seek for solutions, but he is running away from the monsters he created.
Freaks. All of you. All of you freaks. Mutations.
Hold it.
You're freaks. I'm a man. The last man.
Robert.
They were afraid of me. They were afraid of me. They were afraid of me.
I didn't know.
Dr. Neville was defeated by the monsters he created.
Yes, he created a idea that was based on profit over people, and
About science.
And it resulted in a cataclysm and apocalypse and his death.
And even God could not save him from this.
Well, I hope that we've touched your hearts with an idea of a future based on the idea of the time bomb of the GMO time bomb, and recognizing that this is a probability, not a possibility. And if we look at it, we're going to see that time is running out on the human race.
I hope that we could get your attention and made you realize that you have to wake up now, and what you do in the present moment, it will affect your future, and you have to take action in this current moment and open your mind.
And recognize time is running out.
And you can never bring it
on
back.
The human race. There's truly a GMO time bomb that some genetically modified organism will have an effect and create a virus that could create an irritation of the blood fever and produce incredible problems for humanity.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years. And grizzled ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. You fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
And yes, it is indeed possible that there could be a genetically modified time bomb. Time's running out, and any politician, scientist, or anybody who tells you that GMO products are safe is either very, very, very stupid or lying to cover up profit motives.